going on, everyone? Welcome to the newest episode of the Believe in Oregon podcast, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm Zachary, Neel. He's Jonathan Stewart. Jay Stu, what's up, man? How we doing?
I'm doing good, man. Just enjoying the nice fall weather here in Charlotte. The fall weather looks like 70 degrees here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
It's gotten a
yeah,
lot colder here.
yeah. You guys got the rain going yet?
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's not raining too bad right now, but like this weekend for the Wisconsin game, it's gonna be wet for
Oh
sure.
yeah. So
Yeah.
fun fact, I'll be in Portland, Oregon on Friday.
Okay.
Um, but I will be going to the Wisconsin game because I have to get back uh to Charlotte.
What are you
So
doing in Portland?
I'm doing an appearance for Visa and Safeway. Fun
Okay.
fact, I used to work at Safeway in high school.
Uh huh.
So this is going to be
You
cool.
told me that.
Yeah, I worked at Safeway and it was a great experience. I bagged groceries and got hackled for committing to the University of Oregon
Remember
around
that
all
was the
the,
story. Yeah.
yeah. So I get the chance to see what Safeway is like again. They got a new
Okay.
logo and everything. So
Dude, I have not noticed. Safeway, good store though. I like Safeway.
mhm.
The Ducks are coming off a big win over Rutgers. We had a chance to talk on Saturday night, so let's just go ahead and dive right into our take and bake. I don't know if you've had anything that's kind of settled since we talked last, but any lasting opinions from that game that we want to get into?
Nah, man. Jordan Davidson, dog. Uh,
Really good.
Will Stein, dog. The more I think about it, like Will Stein, just keep doing you, dog. Just do what you just did. Don't do anything else
But
because you are on the right track. Like, like I loved how we came out, ran the ball. Noah Whittington feature back out the gate, and then Jordan Davison finished the job and Dier Hill. Um, and I just love how there's a play specifically where he did it. They did like a shotgun toss to the right with Dier Hill, and he pulled the guard and the tackle opposite direction. And so stuff like that, that means you've had that schemed up, ready to go. So just have confidence in what you're doing, have confidence in your guys, and it'll pay off in the long run.
yeah, the only thing I would say about Will Stein, like this was a fantastic game. Absolutely, I loved what we saw. I do agree with the people who are saying like, okay, now let's see this against really good competition. This
Yeah,
was not the same Will Stein we saw against
yeah,
Indiana,
that's what I'm
or even
saying.
against Penn State. Like, just keep doing this, but like, still continue that game plan against the better teams too. Like,
Yeah,
don't revert to these screen happy games. Like, keep throwing the ball down the field. Like, you guys can do it. You're good
yeah.
enough to do it.
Your quarterback has a beautiful arm, and if he senses that you trust him, he will deliver.
Yeah,
That's how players
completely
are.
agree.
If I know that we're running stuff that we ran in practice leading into that game, I know that you trust the game plan. Now I can trust you, and I know that you're going to put me in position to succeed. The moment that we start doing other things, like you just said, reverting to the short pass game, short screen game, because we don't feel like our guys can win one on ones or find the coverage, find the little sit down areas in zone, like that to me is just playing scared, right?
Yeah.
Playing not to win, playing not to get beat, right?
Mhm.
Rather than playing to win.
Yeah, the one thing that's kind of sat with me since Saturday is I just continue to feel like I really like where this team is at. We've talked about the early season loss, how it doesn't really hurt them. This team does so much like self scouting and trying to figure out where they can get better that sometimes you need a loss just to see where that is and to kind of like help you see what that was.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like this team's in a really good spot. We're not going to be able to see them against good competition for a few weeks now. They're not going to face it this week against Wisconsin. Little spoiler alert for our talk about that game coming up, but I feel really good about where they are. I think they're not playing their best football yet, but I think they're on their way, and I think that when the time comes, I have some confidence that they will be.
Yeah, to that point, they haven't peaked, right? And that's what we talked about all
No,
year last year is hoping that this team doesn't peak. And I think last year we were able to sense around that Penn State game last year, we sensed that okay, we see some flaws that they might not be able to overcome, which was stopping
mm,
the run. And lo and behold, that was an issue. I feel like they peaked and they were just playing talent that they were just better than the remainder of the season. I think now you lose to Indiana, you actually probably ignite something within your team more than anything. It's a wake up call, and I just think that you just take those lessons into each week going forward when you're playing talent that's inferior to you. You have to hold on to that lesson that you received from Indiana. The Hoosiers gave you something; they gave you a gift, and hopefully, you can cash in at the end of the year.
Yeah, I kind of like that the two hardest remaining games on the schedule, USC and Washington, come in the last 2 weeks of the season. It's like you're building to that moment, and you're not going to peak and then hit a valley again going back for the playoff. I think like that's when you need to peak by, and
Hmm.
kind of be I wouldn't say smooth sailing into the playoff, but you're playing your best football.
Hmm.
Um, we haven't done this in a while, but let's open it up a little bit and look at the Big Ten as a whole. Who has stood out to you over the past couple of weeks in the conference? I mean, Ohio State and Indiana are clearly up there. I would say with Oregon personally, I think those three have kind of separated themselves. But outside of those three, who are you really looking at? I mean, UCLA looks good.
I was gonna
Minnesota
say, I was gonna
quietly
say
looks good.
UCLA is the
Mhm.
shocker of all of them for
Okay.
the obvious reasons. That coaching takeover, that change, it did something to that whole entire team, and kudos to him. I think that's got to be a confidence builder alone. I'm not sure if he'll get the um, the job long term, but he's certainly making a case for it. Uh,
Mhm.
his play calling, his philosophy, whatever he's done to implement strategy into what he wants the Bruins to do week in and week out. They're competing at a pretty good level. I wouldn't say elite high level because obviously I think defensively they still struggle, but offensively they're putting points on the board and it gives you a chance.
It's better than they were. I mean, you
Yeah,
couldn't get much
exactly.
worse than there.
Yeah.
They also play Indiana this next week, so that'll be a
And
good
you know
test.
what? You know what? If this was not a game at Indiana, I would actually put more of like a sound the alarm a little bit,
Oh,
in
wow.
my opinion, just because you just don't know what to expect.
Yeah, it's not a lot of
Um,
tape on
I
them.
I feel like this college football season, there's upsets happening every single week.
Mhm.
Like I don't think anybody would have thought that Miami would have lost last week.
Well, outside of Oregon.
Yeah, but
Oregon
but
fans saw that one coming for a long
yeah,
time.
but there just seems to be an upset every single week. Like I look at
Mhm.
Texas A&M, they're riding high. I feel like they're gonna lose this week. Um, so it's
Okay.
just one of those opportunities for Oregon to be where they are with one loss and not to experience any type of pressure.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Ohio State is the only untouchable.
I think that's pretty apt analysis right now. Ohio State looks, but I also, Ohio State has not played anybody really yet. Like I'm curious. Like we talk about how we like how Oregon got punched in the mouth and can learn from it. I don't think Ohio State's really going to get that opportunity. They played Texas early on. I don't think Texas is as good as we thought they were going to be.
Nope.
They'll play Penn State, but they miss Indiana. I mean, Penn State's not, I don't think, the team to test them anymore. There's a real chance. I mean, they play Michigan, obviously, too. Michigan's a solid team. Are they one of the best 12 teams in the nation? Probably not. There's a chance that Ohio State gets to that Big Ten title game against Indiana, and it's like, oh, okay, this is real competition. Now we're learning what we need to
Hmm.
improve upon, and maybe it's not too late. I don't want to say that Ohio State's not going to make a run through the playoff. I think they're very capable, but that's just something I'm realizing. They're not playing anyone yet to learn what they need to fix.
Yeah, that's a
All
great
right.
point.
Before we get into our Wisconsin preview, I want to tell you guys about a new sponsor, Backer. It's a new outerwear company founded by an Oregon alum that Jay Stu and I have had the pleasure of working with recently. This is incredible stuff, man. High performance materials that I seriously wear at least 2 to 3 times a week. Jay Stu's got his hat right there, his bucket hat. It's great quality. It keeps you dry. There you go. You got the Backer logo. They got waterproof jackets. They got a cold jacket, an insulated jacket, plus a handful of hats, as you can see with Jay Stu. It's helping you stay comfortable in any condition, which we know being in Oregon, you can see multiple conditions per day. So it's good to have a variety of stuff. You can go to backer.com. That's bckr.com. Use the promo code BELIEVE at checkout for free expedited shipping. Again, that's bckr.com. Promo code BELIEVE for free shipping. This stuff is great. You are not going to want to miss out on this product.
Yeah, make sure you get your backer hat so you can stay conditioned through
And
all
so
the
you can
conditions.
look as cool as Jay Stu does right now.
Oh yeah, man. You know, I got this look on top of the headphones, man. I'm doing a
There you
little
go.
style. A little
That's not bad.
yeah.
There you go. I'm sure Corey's going to love it. All right, let's talk about Wisconsin. I don't think this is going to be a good game. I will say that right off the bat. I think, much like we saw with Rutgers last week, this is a relatively bad team that Oregon's about to play. You know, starting on offense for them, they struggle. They have the number 133 scoring offense in the nation. That's out of 136 teams. They don't run the ball well, they don't pass the ball well, and they just don't move the ball well. What do you expect this weekend other than a clear answer of a blowout?
Look, for all those that are out there that have newborns, right? You wake up in the middle of the night, the last thing you want to do is change a dirty diaper,
Uh-huh.
especially one that has a blowout within that diaper.
It's the worst.
This is the worst. And I think Wisconsin, uh, I don't expect a lot of people to show up to that game to watch, a diaper being changed, basically. You know,
I did not see this metaphor coming, but I like it.
but Oregon, back home in their stadium, they went away to learn a valuable lesson. They went away to Rutgers last week and found themselves after misplacing who they were, in the previous week. And so now that they found who they were all along, they're coming back home, right? They're going to come back home and give the fans what they really need. A little medicine, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is a medicine. And it comes in the form of a butt whooping. And Wisconsin is just going to have to be in the way of that butt whooping and us just basically continuing to develop and being the best version of ourselves. Finding out each week from here on out, has like the test or the standard has to be how good can we get, right? That's the message that if I'm a coach and I'm playing, teams that are not good, we have to make sure we make it all about ourselves, right? How good can the running back group get this week? You guys played pretty good last week. Can you guys rush for more yards? Can we break the offensive total rush, yards, total yards, the individual record? They got close last week. What, 750 or something, right? Something like that,
That
right?
may come up later, so I'm not going to say.
No, okay. but if they are capable of breaking the record, that's what I'm going for, right? I'm shooting for goals. And obviously, it's not about stats. It's not about points. It's about how good can we get. And obviously, those are proof, and those are opportunities to provide proof to see how good you get with the baseline. So, Wisconsin, you're in the way, and you're just gonna get hit.
Yeah, it's about playing up to a standard, and that standard doesn't mean necessarily winning 56-10. You could play up to that standard in a 35-0 game. I mean, if you dominate the game and dominate every facet of the game, like, it doesn't matter what the score is as long as they play up to that level.
Put it this way: we can run hitches, 10-yard, 12-yard hitches all game long, and have 5 yards after catch on each of those possessions. We can have 6 yards per carry, okay, and we can be milking the clock, and we don't have to score fast as long as we whooping that tail. To me, more reps, get more reps in there. Don't score too fast. Get make a day out of it. Make a practice out of it.
Yeah, completely agree. The betting lines, as always, brought to you by our sponsor FanDuel. Oregon is currently minus 33.5, which is an insane number against a Power 4 team. And the over-under is set at remarkably 44.5. So yeah.
Over.
All right. You're taking Oregon minus 33.5. What is your score prediction for this game?
If they score fast like they did last week, 42 points in the first half, I would like to see them get, 51, 50 points, something like that in the first half. That'd be great. Sit the starters in the second half, let them rest, um, and let the young boys go in there and go to work. I expect us to go 63-0.
Oh my god. 63-0.
Yeah, what
Okay.
else? What else we got to do here, huh? There's
All
no
right.
reason.
Yeah.
There's no good reason for them to come to Oregon, fly all the way to Oregon. There's no good reason for them to score any points.
I don't think they're going to score points. I got 38-0. I think it'll still be a shutout, but I just don't. It is going to be wet and cold and windy, so I think they may run the ball more, but we'll see.
Yeah, a lot of house calls.
Yeah, could be. All right. Once again, before we close out the show, we're going to go into our new Oregon. It's not new anymore. Into our Oregon trivia segment, Quack Facts, where I try and stump Jay Stu. Jay Stu, you ready?
I am.
All right. You touched on it a little bit, which is why I held off. Oregon had 750 yards of total offense against Rutgers last week. How many times in program history have they had over 700 yards? And what is the program record?
Jeez, how many times?
Mm-hmm.
What's the single game rushing record for a team?
I don't know.
See, I stumped you. I stumped you. Yes.
Right. Single game rushing record, FBS. Let me take a guess and we'll look it up.
No, for Oregon.
Oh, for Oregon, their single game rushing record 460 yards. That's my guess.
Okay, so if they had 460 yards, that means that they've had over 400 yards at least 3 times, which means that would put them in a scenario of being, I'd say, maybe 4 times in school history they've gone over 700.
Incorrect. They have done it 11 times. I know. Can you believe that? That's a lot.
Have they ever gotten 800?
No. The record. Do you know what the record is?
773. That's right.
777.
Ooh, dang, 777. I don't know if we want to touch that. That's a beautiful number.
Is that? Yeah. Okay. What is the Oregon Ducks single game rushing record? It's going to tell me 321 for Kenyon, but I want the full team. I know this is great podcasting. 465 yards. In 2007 against, can you guess who it was against?
2007? Well, that was me. That was UW.
Yeah, UW. There you go.
Game.
That shows you were on that game. You were on that team.
Yeah, me, Dennis, Andre Crenshaw, Remine Alston.
How much did you have? Do you remember?
Sheesh, like 250, maybe. I don't know.
In that game, I'm gonna edit this out a little bit later so we don't have so much dead air. You rushed for 251 yards on 32 carries.
Nice.
There you go.
Got after it. I remember that game. That was a good game. I was able to do it in front of the home crowd. Being from Washington, I saw a lot of faces in that crowd wearing purple.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. I love it. All right, let's wrap it up there. It should be a fun game this weekend. We're breaking out the tie-dye. Oh, yeah, Jay Stu, what are your thoughts on the tie-dye uniforms before we get out of here?
Man, anything that they do, I love it. I have no complaints about what Oregon decides to do. They can wear orange for Halloween.
Let's be careful there.
Hey, nothing to be careful about. We own orange. We own black, orange. We own the red and yellow, whatever they call it in USC. We own all of them. Crimson. We own all that. Yeah. The only thing we don't own right now is them Hoosiers.
Yeah, that doesn't mean we want to wear it, though. Do you own any tie-dye?
No, my daughters do, though.
Okay, there you go. That's good. Yeah. That'll work. All right. You got anything to add before we get out of here?
No, man. Just let's see how good we can get. And I'm excited. I'm really excited to see how they continue to let Jordan Davidson just continue to thrive in this offense. I love Noah Whittington. I love De'Aaron Hill, but I've come to really love Jordan Davis, and just knowing that he's a freshman. This is going to be something very special to watch as he continues to grow and develop into a fabulous football player.
I will add that I absolutely love that you have done the second half of this podcast with that hat on your head still.
Hey, if y'all need the swag, go ahead and get your hat at backer, okay?
Hey, seriously, like, we are not lying when we say that, like, we endorse this product. I love my back. I would be wearing it right now if my kid did not spit up on it earlier. And so
I can't wait for it to rain to really use it for what it's worth. You know, it's repellent.
They're coming out with a black line soon too. So black jackets. Yeah,
nice.
I can't wait for that stuff.
Because sometimes I want to just shock people and spook them with the yellow O on the
yeah.
Because when you see the green, you know I'm coming. Right.
It's true. You want to pop out at them.
Want to pop out and show them.
There you go. All right, let's wrap it there. You can check out more of my work at DucksWired at usatoday.com. Follow me at Zachary C. Neel on Twitter. Check out the Ducks Rising podcast. Follow Jay Stu on Twitter at Jonathan Stu R1, and make sure to check out the Ducks of a Feather podcast with him and Kenyon Barner. For myself, Zach Neel, for my co-host Jonathan Stewart, we'll talk to you guys next week. Until then, take it easy.